Good evening, darts fans, and welcome back to the Online Darts Live League. This is an evening session of darts which will take place over the next 3.5 to 4 hours. We had a brilliant time of it last night in Group B, and it is the last time that someone can qualify for the Week 1 finals here in Stage 1. 3 places have already been banked via the places in Group A and Group C over the last 5 days. And 3 spots will be available tonight from 5 players that you will see. But before we get started tonight with Jamie Kelling and Jelle Klaasen, let's have a little look at what happened earlier in the week if you weren't able to join us. This was Group A over Monday, Tuesday and Wednesday. And as you can see, Dave Pallett with 20 points, just beating out Jelle Klaasen on leg difference. He made his way to Saturday with a couple of days to spare. Clarson and Owen will be taking part in Group B tonight, and we are 50% the way through that one, and they both still have a chance, particularly Owen, who had a really good Thursday evening. As for Osborne, Kay and Cox, they went to Group C the last couple of mornings, and that one was finalised a little bit earlier on today, and Osborne had a fantastic time of it, winning 9 of his games, only the 1 loss, with 18 points and beating out debutant Adam Atkinson from Hartlepool, who had a fantastic debut campaign, and we will see him tomorrow night with Colin and Dave. As for Tony Newell, he missed out by a couple of wins. Keelan Kay, Lee Cox and Jamie Durrant not able to make their finals bow this week, but hopefully we will see them again sometime in the future. As for Group B last night, that was the culmination of the most brilliant darts we've seen all week, in my opinion. Tremendous quality, as most of the players were averaging over 90 for the night. This is how things stand in Group B as we go into this evening. Robert Owen has already got 1 foot in the finals. Arron Monk on 4 points, Nick Kenny on 4, and Clarson and Kelling, who will play each other in the first game. One of them is going to get to 4 points. So it's all to play for with 3 spots up for grabs. Without further ado, let's get down to the oche to get tonight's action underway. I think Clarson today has been spending a bit of time at the barbers. He looks freshly trimmed and energetic. Is this going to be his last action ahead of going to Australia for the Australian Darts Open in Victoria next week? He'll be hoping not. He'll be hoping he's playing exactly 24 hours from now.
It feels like it's Jelle to throw first. Game on.
So here's the state of play for anybody just joining us.
139.
We now run a 12-week program called Stage 1.
140.
When you play in Stage 1, you're trying to qualify for the Champions Week, which will take place in mid-October. First and foremost, you have to get to the Saturday night. And it is 1 place and 1 place only that qualifies you for that Champions Week. It's a bit more cutthroat now, whereas before...
125.
Actually, let's just divert a little bit. How did that not find its way into the bullseye, that third dart? You can see what Jelle was trying to do.
140.
He has come out of the traps like a prize greyhound. But so was Kelling.
125. Jamie require 81.
We'll come back to the Champions Week thing in a second because this is a great first leg. Double 13.
55. Jelle require 55.
Well, he couldn't get 3 bulls. How about the equivalent of 5 in bull, or 15 for tops?
Game shot
We
the
go
first
all
leg.
around the houses.
Jelle Klaasen.
And that was a brilliant first leg of darts. Yes, 1 place
Jamie to throw
tomorrow night will qualify for the Champions Week in October. Whereas previously it was 3, but the Champions Weeks would take place every 6 weeks. Things are a bit different now. There's a lot on the line.
127.
And there will be an increased prize fund come that Champions Week.
180.
This is the JK Derby because of the same initials, of course. And the first maximum goes the way of Jamie Kelling,
100.
who yesterday averaged 89.45 for his 4 matches and 43.75% on doubles.
85.
That is pretty good playing. But he found himself at the bottom of the table because this group
78.
was so strong.
Jamie record 96. $56.
Nice leave after 12. He's playing extremely well so far.
100.
Just needs to finish
Jamie
the job
record
here in leg
40.
2.
Game shot
And
on
he
the
does
second
finish
leg.
the job.
Jamie
I
Kelly.
was just watching out for the retrieval there because that third dart that hit the double 10 was sitting there quite precariously.
So I guess Jelle to throw first.
If you don't retrieve the dart before it falls on the floor, it doesn't count.
26.
Now, Clarson yesterday averaged 90.06. He had 8 maximums, which is tied for the most for the night with Nick Kenny. But no tongue plus
84.
outs, and he did have some trouble on the outer ring, only 26% at his doubles, and that's why he was in 4th position.
59.
But with 4 matches to go in this group, everybody can still qualify.
100.
But the intensity goes up tonight, and I'd expect the level of play to maybe drop a little bit because of that tension.
96.
Last night is pretty hard to replicate.
60.
One thing Jelle's been doing all season
34.
is flip-flopping between 2 different flight setups. I think they're the same shape and the same weight, but they are a different colour.
30.
There's nothing wrong with a little bit of variety, but
46.
sometimes it's nice to have a bit of familiarity when you're playing well.
100. Yellow 140.
Another one of those. Line was good.
61.
Biggest finish for Clarson last night was 86. And that scuppers that effort. That was a violent bounce out, which is very rare.
77. Yellow records 79.
Double top.
Game shown the third leg.
Yeah, beautifully
Jelle
done.
Klaasen.
Jelle getting that one in 21 darts. Not the best leg of this match so far, but he won't care as long as he gets a little 4 next to his name after this.
Well, like it's Jamie to throw first.
And everybody plays in this group
60.
with a little bit of pace. That did add to the excitement of last night and early this morning.
180.
The first maximum of the night for that JK.
100.
Is he in for another?
121.
There's your answer. There's 9 maximums so far in this group for Jelle.
140.
For the whole week, he's got 25, which is exactly the same as Dave Pallett, who got 25 in the first 3 days of the week.
134.
That tells you how good he played. But Colin Osborne has got a lot more
60.
than both
Ellie
of them
records
now.
66.
He's had a great couple of days.
Game shown the
And that is a
fourth
great
leg.
couple of minutes for
Jelle
Clarson,
Klaasen.
who finishes that leg in 11 darts. Just double checking that one. 66 check out and a 3-1 lead. He's looking good for 4 points at this point.
Fifth leg, it's Jelle to throw first. $140.
Klaasen's best average in a live league match
100.
is 97.24.
93.
And that was a losing average last night. That was in match 1 against Nick Kenny, which was
100.
an absolutely brilliant game. His best winning
101.
average came earlier this week, 97 exactly. And if he takes that 167 out in either 3 or 6 starts, or something in between,
167.
it could well be his new personal best.
127.
It's looking
Game of
good.
161.
Even better now that Jamie Kelling has not taken that 161.
137. Jelle
For the match, double 10.
Game
And it's
shot
there.
on the match.
4 of 15
Jelle
darter.
Klaasen.
And I believe that is a new personal best for Jelle Klaasen in a winning sense, that is. 97.66 for that contest. 4 legs to 1, as you can see. But 98.43 for Kelling is a losing average. Just a mark of how good this group could potentially be over the next few hours. 57% on the doubles is a vast improvement for Jelle on the outer ring. And if he is going to qualify in the top 3 spots tonight, that's what needs to change. A really good start for the 2006 World Champion. We're going to come back after the break with our second match of the evening. And it's going to be Nick Kenny against Robert Owen in a Welsh derby. Don't go far. Good evening once again, darts fans, and welcome back to the live coverage here on Sporty Stuff TV for Group B and its climax this evening, going into the early hours of tomorrow. This is an all-Welsh clash with Nick Kenny taking on the man at the top of the table. It is Robert Owen, who is currently on 8 points and undefeated in this group. Nick Kenny was impressive yesterday, especially at the start of his campaign, setting a new individual game record for himself here at Live League Darts. But he's up against Robert Owen, who with one win tonight will already be guaranteed.
It feels like it's Nick to throw first. Game on.
For the finals tomorrow. And he's going to take some stopping considering what he did yesterday. As an overall average for last night's play, Robert was 7 points ahead of anybody else. I couldn't even say that without laughing. That's ridiculous. 97.05 for the night.
140.
A best individual game of 109.41. The best performance of anybody this week in a game. His checkouts were 43%, which is world class. And he had 3 ton-plus outs, culminating in a 150 shot, which he hit against Nick Kenny in their last leg. Hence the phrase last night, oh my word, he's nilled Kenny.
85.
Because the score was 4-0, and Nick will be hoping that that is not the case this time.
125.
As for Nick's night, he had a very similar time of it to Jelle Klaasen, in fact.
140.
But he did get 2 more points than Jelle. Their averages for the night could be split by only 1/100th of a point. But that first game of the night against Jelle Klaasen yesterday was special. Averaged 102. And maybe the only weakness he showed
100
was the outer ring with only 27.5% on those doubles.
59. Nick requires 71.
For the first leg in 6 visits, he's going to need the 15 in bull, or that for double 10.
61. Robert requires 74.
A somewhat unexpected chance here for Robert to steal. Double top.
34. Nick required 10.
Still finding his range.
6.
And not finding it quick enough
40.
in leg number 1 with the darts. So this is for a break of throw.
Game shot on the
And
first
Mr.
leg.
Dependable
Robert
on double
Owen
10 finds the target once again. With an unexpected break in the first leg, he now has won 5 straight against Nick Kenny.
Second leg, it's Robert to throw first. Game on.
Whatever you've got planned for this weekend, don't forget that our finals will start at 10 p.m. tomorrow night. So when you've had a nice day with the family or with
60.
friends, sit down, relax, pour yourself something nice, and watch the finals late on Saturday to see who qualifies for Champions Week
100.
in the middle portion of October. Only one more player to showcase you after this for the first time, and that's Arron Monk. And not to let the cat out of the bag too much, but he is
100.
donning his England shirt tonight, which makes him look rather resplendent.
140.
This table is going to be really interesting to look at when we reach the climax of game number 5. At that point, everybody will have played 6 matches.
61.
Robert Owen would love to be on 12 points at that time. if he is, he'll already be making plans for tomorrow.
100.
Nick Kenny would love to be on 8 points. First maximum
180.
of the night.
Robbie, you've got 141.
You think that it won't be his last. He got 8 yesterday.
41.
Yes, averaging
Nick,
2 per
20.
game. Can he find double 10? He doesn't like the lie, and I don't blame him. There's a chance he might hit this double 10 and knock that dart out the board.
No score.
How has that not gone in?
Robbie, you require 100.
And if this does go in, I think Nick Kenny's got every right to feel a little bit aggrieved. Oh, the irony.
The second leg.
Oh, the
Robert
irony.
Owen.
Can you imagine missing double 10 3 times right on that wire, and then your opponent comes up and hits it in 1? Oh, the irony.
Delegates Nick to throw first.
If you were tuning into Sporty Stuff TV a little bit earlier on tonight, I was on
44.
with one of our presenters and speaking out some of the tips for this week. My tips were for Arron Monk to qualify tonight and to win this week at 7-1. I just think that was a decent price. He has to qualify for Saturday night first and win the whole thing for that to be a good tip. I've gone for Robert Owen to have the biggest checkout against Jelle Kelling. That game is a little bit later on in match number 6. And that is 8-13. And in this game, my pick was for 3 180s or more at 4-5. I do remember that all of you out there who choose to have a little flutter,
41.
it is for over 18s only. begambleaware.org for more information. That's the website you need. And please gamble responsibly.
$28.
So far, we've got 1 maximum in this game.
$135.
3 trebles there. And a nice leaf for Rob, who's looking to serve up a double bagel against Nick Kenny.
2-1. Robert, you've got 102.
Miraculously, if Owen wins the next 2 legs, his leg difference after 5 matches will go to plus 16.
Game
And he's
on the
almost
third
there.
leg.
This is 3-0,
Owen.
and he's going to throw first in leg number 4. Double break now, and everything seems to be going right for Stack Attack.
Fourth leg, it's Robert to throw first. Game on.
Nick hasn't found the same sort of accuracy that he started with yesterday.
71.
But there's still time yet.
$55.
But time is running out.
140.
And this is a C game performance for Robert Owen based on his form right now. He's averaging 87.
140.
It's being made to look good because Kenny is only averaging 80.
100.
Needs something massive here just to give Robert something to think about.
58.
He's just not finding the target. He's not throwing poorly. He's just not finding his segments. His timing is not as good as last night.
100.
And make no mistake, a Robert Owen win in every game now is good for the chasing pack because they want it to be as tight as possible. Robert is already out of sight. So let him win
60.
against your
Robbie, you
rivals.
reckon 190.
This is a good result for the likes of Monk, Kelling, and Clarson. Well, you took the risky route, Rob.
50.
All is good in the world if you hit tops when you come back.
80. Robbie, you reckon 140.
As to why he went to 16s,
Game
it doesn't
shot
really
on
matter
the
because
match.
Robert Owen has won
Robert Owen.
against Nick Kenny for the second consecutive night. Well, I suppose it was the early hours of the morning when they completed their game, so it's the second time today he's beaten him by 4 legs to 0. This time the average is 87, nothing particularly spectacular, but his checkout's exactly the same as Jelle Klaasen's in the previous match. 4 from 7 attempts with that one solitary ton plus finish. It's still good enough, and he's pretty much solidified his place in the finals, and I think by the looks of it he is going to win this group. When we return, it is going to be our first game with Arron Monk involved. He's going to be playing his old pal Jamie Kelling. This fixture yesterday was a great game, and we can't wait to see Arron Monk in his England shirt, and that will be coming up right after this. still all to play for in the Group B table, and let's get straight down to the board to see match number 3 between Arron Monk and Jamie Kelling. Kelling is on 2 points, Arron on 4. I've never seen him so proud to wear a shirt. And this is the shirt that he was given when he got his first England cap. Does look pretty good on him, doesn't it? In the words of Nicolas Cage, fits you pretty good. Good pals, these two.
Hey, feels like it's Jamie to throw
and have
first.
been for over 2
Game on.
decades. And if this game is anything close to what we had from them yesterday, we're in for a treat.
58.
Arron averaged 95 in defeat, and Kelling stole the game after keeping himself in it with a 1-4-3 checkout
60.
towards the end. One of, if not the best finish of the night. It may not have been the biggest,
97.
but the timing of it was so good.
$100.
As for Arron's evening, which found him in second position in the table behind the rampant Robert Owen, who's now
81.
gone 5 matches without defeat. It was 89.91 as a running average last night for Arron.
95.
His biggest average of the night was a losing average against Robert Owen, 101.55. 4 maximums, 1 ton plus checkout,
95.
and a checkout percentage close to 1 in every 3 darts, which is okay.
81. Jamie require 170.
Well, Jamie's got 2 visits at the 170 now that Arron has not left a finish.
94.
He's probably thinking about a 133 here. Maybe a 125.
105. Jamie
All
requires
that.
76.
Obviously, he's not listening to me. Tops for Jamie.
Game shown the first leg.
And I have a
Jamie
feeling,
Kelling.
and I said this yesterday, that Jamie is very comfortable playing against Arron.
Second leg, it's Arron to throw first.
Sometimes it's better the devil you know than the devil you don't. The
83.
worrying thing is that Arron lost yesterday against Jamie when he had the darts. Tonight, Jamie's got them,
140.
and he looks in a pretty buoyant mood. He lost his first game of the night against Clarson, but lost with a 98 average.
100.
A sign that he's playing well. And because he started the night at the foot of the table,
100.
he's got the most work to do. And it's not merely about the points for Jamie. He's got a real big problem
140.
when it comes to leg difference. He's currently sitting at -11. And the people he's chasing are on all square
140.
and -5. He's got a lot of ground to make up. I firmly believe that if Jamie Kelling does lose one more match,
138. Jamie record 100.
I'm not so sure he's going to make it because of that leg difference alone.
$97.
Superb last dart,
Arron,
but
you
it
record
should
40.
be to no avail.
Game shown the second
And
leg.
it is.
Arron Monk.
There was a puncture wound in that double top, wasn't there? And it was plugged by that first start of Arron Monk to make this game 1-1.
So look, it's Jamie to throw first. Game on. 85.
When you see someone wearing an England shirt who has been donning it in British internationals recently, you'd have to say he's one of the best players in England right now in his system.
80.
Because there are more systems in darts now than ever before. In the old days, it was just the BDO. Then there was the PDC.
60.
Now we've got the Live League. We've got the WDF. We've got the PDC, the Challenge Tour, the ADC.
125.
More divisions than boxing. But in the words of John Part, the great 3-time world champion, as long as people are playing darts, who cares?
60.
Jamie is going to be the person to finish his campaign
100.
first as well. He finishes up against Nick Kenny in Game 8. So he will know his fate, potentially,
96.
before Robert Owen, Arron Monk, Jelle Klaasen and Nick Kenny finish up. It will very much depend on how many points he can find
81.
and how much in the way of inroads he can make on that minus 11 leg difference. It's not as if he played badly last night. He did not.
Arron,
If he'd put in the stats from last night into Group C, the likelihood is he would have won that group or possibly came second.
95.
Arron can't find tops this
Jamie, you
time.
require 100.
Does Jamie? He went the old school way.
60. Arron, you require 20.
Oh, that one pushed the wire.
Game
And
shot
that
on
one
the third
cushions
leg.
lovely.
Arron
In there
Monk.
you see a fist pump from Arron Monk. He is trying to put his foot to the floor because he knows that two things could happen in this game.
Fourth leg, it's Arron to throw first.
He can do
Game on.
himself some good, but it could cause a lot of pain for his old friend. And the closer this game is, the worse it is for Kelling.
97. 60.
And that is the second time that's happened in 24 hours to Jamie Kelling. He's just had 120 on the floor. That happened last night.
85.
And the fact that it's happened to him twice and nobody else at all this week, that's either just plain cruelty
67.
or it's the way his darts go on the board. The only other person I've
83.
seen that happen to here at the Live League is Scott Baker. The rapid fire mod from Tipton.
100.
Definitely has that focus tonight, doesn't he?
100.
Whenever he plays darts, he gives 100%, that's for sure.
$60. Arron, you require 136.
A couple of ways you can get this, which are popular. People like 16s as well as 20s.
96.
Nice leave.
$82. Arron, you require 40.
Double top, and Kelling's in trouble. Big trouble if this goes.
No score.
Can he save himself?
Jamie,
The same way he did last night with the 143. Not on this occasion.
94. Arron, you require 40.
Can he fix it? Like Bob the Builder?
Game shot
There
on
it
the
is.
fourth flag.
And
Arron
a
Monk.
3-1 lead. A somewhat angry last start. He's got to keep that temper a little bit more placid because there's a long way to go
Flag,
yet.
it's Jamie to throw first. Game on.
And that is the glaring weakness in the Arron Monk arsenal. He does have a short
100.
fuse. It's that stuff between the ears that gets him most of the time because he has the ability. Everybody knows that.
94. 81. 28.
The best that Kelling can do is get to 4 points with Monk,
140.
with Kenny, and Klaasen. But alongside the fact that his leg difference is not good,
60.
even if he won by 4 legs to 3 in this game, everybody's got a game in hand on him.
100.
Ideal scenario from here is that he wins and Robert Owen beats everybody that he plays.
95.
That would be good for Jamie.
Jamie require 80.
Double 10.
Game's
Yeah,
on
very
the
good
fifth
from
leg.
Jamie, keeping
Jamie
himself
Kelling.
alive. And this game has got every likelihood of going all the way like it did yesterday.
See if we get to Arron to throw first. $134. 100.
I've just been looking through my stat pack, which is provided to me by
98.
our in-house stats guru. And I was pretty sure that Arron Monk was at the top of one of the unnecessary records.
123.
One of the records that you don't want to hold. And in fact, he shares a record with Bradley Kirk, someone who doesn't actually live that far away from him,
59.
for the most consecutive legs lost. It was last year in Phase 2, and he lost 19 in a row.
43.
Now, put that into context. Every game is best of 7 legs. That's as if he'd lost, what is it, 4 games in a row?
137.
By 4 legs to 0, and a 3-0 after that, before he got 1 leg. That version of Arron Monk has not turned up tonight. No, he knows now he's got to go 20 bull. After what happened yesterday, he can't be laying up with Jamie on 150. It's just too risky. But he's going to do it. Oh, gauntlet laid down.
150.
Look at Jamie's face and look at Aaron's face as if to say, I gave you a chance.
98.
You haven't taken it.
Aaron, you require
Now
40.
I'm going to put you away. And he has put him
shot
away.
on the match.
Great respect between
Arron
two
Monk.
very good friends. Over the course of the last couple of nights, they've had a couple of great battles. It wasn't as good as last night, but it was still very entertaining. Kelling with 67% on the doubles. He's in major trouble now of not qualifying from this group. But Arron Monk has got himself onto, it is 6 points. He's now 4 points behind the leader, but he's got 3 more matches to come. Match 4 is about to grace our Oki, and it is going to be Robert Owen, our league leader, up against Jelle Klaasen, who still has got a lot of work to do to qualify. Our last 2 games have been won against the darts, and Jelle Klaasen will be hoping that that is still the case. Well, maybe not, because he hasn't got the darts in this one, so he wants to continue that trend here against table-topper Robert Owen. Everybody gets a lie-in tomorrow, no matter whether you're in the finals or not. It's time to empty the tank tonight of what you've got left.
Okay, first leg, it's Robert to throw first.
And there are repercussions in this one, because everybody trying to chase this guy who is not playing in this game wants a Robert Owen win.
100.
Because Robert is so far ahead now, everybody wants him to win the matches that he plays.
180.
So, for example, Nick Kenny, Kelling, and Monk want Robert Owen to win here against Clarson to stop him.
60.
They already know that Owen's in the wind, that he's gone, he's going to be in the finals. But there are 2 spots up for grabs.
55.
And if those guys are going to chase each other down, then this guy can do them favours.
100.
And that makes the next match even more interesting as well, because Monk against Kenny
59.
will be for 2 points. And if Owen wins this game and Monk wins again, he will create a 4-point gap between himself
34.
and another chasing pack. So things could be starting to get really interesting.
58.
But that's just a hypothetical situation.
7.
There are other possibilities.
51. Jelle, 149.
Big ask. Big chance. Big out.
117. Robert, you record 56.
Big miss in the end.
Game shown the first.
Robert Owen is just too ruthless. 17 dart hold. That is right there. And having the darts in this kind of form,
second leg, it's Jelle to throw
it's like
first.
having something like a 4th dart.
100.
One of the things going for Jelle so far is that his leg difference is 5 better than Nick Kenny.
26.
And the reason for that is because Robert Owen beat Kenny by 4-0 earlier tonight.
140.
Nick Kenny could do with Rob doing the same against Jelle.
80.
And Stack Attack doesn't need that to happen. He grasps those darts out the board with a little bit of vengeance.
24.
Well, 1 each, as I would say in that situation. Honours even. But it has to be said, in my opinion, that when players are using moulded flights, which are more rigid,
140.
because both players are using those models, deflections are more likely.
140. Jelle, record 97.
88.
Game shown the second
That's a
leg.
couple of times tonight.
Jelle Klaasen.
He has slipped into the wrong segment with his first dart and fixed the situation pronto.
So look, it's Robert to throw first.
He's
Game
one of those players that makes the game look so easy when he gets it right. And he's going to be spending a lot of time away from home,
60.
and has done already this week. I'm sure his other half, Nanka, and his 2 kids will miss Daddy for a while,
180.
but they know that their father has to go to work. And we wish him all the very best for the rest of this evening, first and foremost.
100.
But after this, going to Australia to try and get some valuable ranking points towards
60.
his WDF ranking, which has been very much improved this year. especially after winning that Dutch Open.
100.
Beating Mark Barilli in the final, it was
140.
pretty plain sailing. He had a better engine than Mark and was able to get over the line quite quickly.
140. Jelle 121.
No shot bullseye.
97. Robbie 101.
Does Rob get a shot at double 12? Or any double, for that matter? Facial expression tells you the
53.
story.
Jelle 24.
Oh, he's going around the houses again.
Team shot in the third.
And maybe this is the game to
Jelle
play.
Klaasen.
He has struggled on the doubles so far this week, but that's twice already tonight. He has found 2 doubles to get the right number.
Fourth leg, it's Jelle to throw first.
The previous one was double 5 and double 15 for 40. This time it's double 9 and double 3 for
59.
24.
$140.
If you think because Robert Owen at the top of the table is 4 points ahead that he's going to take his foot off the gas,
98.
think again. I was talking to him earlier on tonight and he said he wants to win every game he plays. He wants to be undefeated all night long. All group long.
180.
I haven't heard anybody talk as good a game as
43.
Robert Owen since Alex Roy. And nobody could talk a game and walk a game
85.
like Alex. The most confident strider down a walk-on I've ever watched.
140. Robbie Record 96.
Double 8 for a tied game.
88. Jelle Record
And
161.
a small chance to take a 3-1 lead.
86. Robbie Record 8.
2 2s.
No score.
That double 15 bet has been hit again.
Jelle Record
But
75.
this time it's not to win a leg, it's to bust a shot. Chance.
Game shot in the
Chance
fourth leg.
taken.
Jelle
It's
Klaasen.
3-1 Clarson. This is good for Jelle, but it's not good for the chasing pack because Clarson seems to be winning more tonight.
Fifth leg, it's Robert to throw first. Game on.
He's already won 4-1 against I was going to call him Jamie Kelling.
100.
That's what comes with spending so much time with Dutch players who start with a J. He beat Jamie Kelling by
85.
4 legs to 1. And there is a possibility with the superior 180s and superior average in
97.
this one that he could still win by 4 legs to 1 again, which would take his leg difference to +3.
41. 121.
This is the 5th meeting this week between these guys because they were both involved in Group A.
80.
Currently, it's 3-1 to Robert Owen, and Jelle's sole victory was on Tuesday by 4 legs to 3.
59. 59. Robbie, you've got 124.
I think Jelle is already thinking about the next leg. He's got every right to, because the leg is
on
over.
the fifth leg.
That's
Robert
a great
Owen.
showing of class from Rob Owen. I told you he wasn't going to give up.
Sixth leg, it's Jelle to throw first.
This may be the best chance that Jelle's got to get the points.
134. 93.
I think if Clarson doesn't win this leg, he doesn't win the match. And I know that's a bold statement, but Jelle has lost a lot of close games this week. And that may be playing on his mind. And this is a good visit for the Dutchman.
26.
And you can see the irate nature of the retrieval of Robert and what's on his face. And it looks like Clarson is ready to win this one. It would be a huge 2 points for him. And it would take him into the top 3 for the first time in this group.
140. Jelle record 92.
2 darts away. Make that 1.
76.
He will be back to be the first person to defeat Robert Owen since Wednesday.
65. Jelle record 16.
Wicked deflection.
No score.
Not once but twice. He's had some troubles on double 8 this week. That's now 5 match shots missed. And he doesn't want that to continue.
96. Jelle record 16. No score.
That's now 8 missed for the match.
Require 81.
This shouldn't be happening.
55.
I'm keeping count with fingers to
Jelle
see how many match darts
16.
Jelle's missed. I'm running out of fingers. Match dart 11.
8.
Wow. Double 8 is not his friend anymore.
Game shown the 6th flag. Robert Owen.
Don't really know what to say about that, but Jelle Klaasen is going to be feeling very, very angry right now, and he will be unless he gets this leg.
7th and final leg. It's Robert to throw first. Game on.
He's got a long way to go to beat Colin Osborne and Scott Marsh's
60.
record of missed darts at double in a match, because he's only missed 13.
100.
But I lost count of how many darts at double Colin Osborne missed for a match yesterday. It was something over 20.
100.
But if you have a sporting heart,
100.
you probably want Klaasen to get through this, because it would be somewhat cruel to walk away from a game after missing 11 match darts. The predominant
24.
amount at double 8. In fact, I think 10 of them were at that same bed, and they all missed on the outside.
60. $100.
It's nip and tuck.
170.
And my advice to you, Jelle, is don't leave double 8. For this 71, I would go for treble 17 and try something different.
177.
And he's going to need to hit this.
77. Jelle records 71.
Double 8. How ironic.
Shot on the match. Jelle Klaasen.
That's unbelievable. On his 12th match dart, and after missing 10 of them at double 8, he finally hits double 8 on a 71 checker to win the match. That is probably the best celebration I've seen to win any game this week, and that keeps him alive in the running to get through this group. You can see the averages. Actually, let's just get rid of those, because that game was absolutely comical. I'm not going to forget that one for a while. Let's take a break now. I think we all need it after that one. Arron Monk against Nick Kenny's coming next after this. Welcome back to tonight's action, and as we approach the midnight hour, we are around 45 minutes away from that. We are almost at the halfway point of tonight's action, and this is a big game coming up in match 5 between Monk and Kenny. It's going to have to go some to be as mad as the previous game, but Arron will do himself a lot of favours if he beats Nick Kenny. Things will be very finely poised. If Nick wins, though, it would be 3 people on 6 points going into the second half of play.
To throw first. Game on.
England v Wales. I could be sitting here all night long talking about England v Wales rivalry matches over the years.
180.
Well, that was a cricket stump style 180 there from Arron Monk. 1 on the leg stump, 1 on the off stump, 1 in the middle.
100. 137.
And after his first game, where he beat his good pal Jamie Kelling, it's all down to business now.
100.
Against someone who he played against in the development tour in its early days, around 10 years ago.
100.
There's a rapid nature to this one. And you have to say that Nick, after losing 4-0 to Robert Owen in his first game today, needs to find points quickly, otherwise he may be left
140.
behind.
140, Arron, you require 84.
The people around him are getting points.
Nick, you require
in fact,
161.
they haven't lost. He could do with the 51 going in. And the bull.
136.
Arron couldn't look.
Arron, you require 56.
Maybe it's a good thing he didn't. Double 12.
50.
That will annoy him.
Nick, you require 25.
Double 8 once again.
Game's on the
And
first.
this time it's found with the first
Nick
dart.
Kenny.
We now have 2 consecutive legs in 2 consecutive matches where double 8 is found with the first dart. Not like the other leg we saw 3 legs ago.
Second leg, it's Nick to throw first. Game on.
Break of through in leg 1 in 14 darts. That's more like it.
140.
Wasn't his true self in his first game, only averaging 78.
24.
And you just know that everything is going to go really tight after the midnight hour. Sounds like a song by the Commitments, doesn't it?
100. 121.
That's a good recovery after a somewhat sketchy start. These guys have got to let their darts do the talking tonight. This format that we have now with stage 1 gives you 1 chance
44.
on a Saturday night to get through to Champions Week. 1 player, not 3 anymore.
99.
We can talk about the complexities of Saturday night come tomorrow.
97.
But right now, these guys are in the middle of a bit of a darting war. Each leg and each game is immensely valuable as Nick Kenny doubles his lead and is looking more likely to win this one than Arron Monk with a 103 average.
To throw first.
Earlier in the leg, he was up at 111.
100.
Whatever he's done between his first game and this one,
140.
to practice or relax, it's worked. Scoring, check. Doubles, check.
85.
And England's Arron Monk has got to curb that anger, otherwise he is going to boil over.
60.
I hope that little outburst was worth it, because that right hand will be very sore right now.
57.
It's at points like that you just got to breathe, and he's doing it right now, which is a good sign.
140.
And when you see your opponent doing that, you have a job to do. And that job is to make them feel worse. I know that sounds really, really nasty, but it's the case. Your job is to beat your opponent.
64. Arron, you require 160.
Stay there.
100. Nick, you require 97.
That leaves 76. And I don't blame him for going for two double 19s. That was the right moment that you do that. Double top.
40.
He'll be hoping that Nick Kenny misses this to give himself another chance, but I have a sneaky suspicion that he's not going to miss. And he decides on double 18.
47.
And he does miss.
Arron, you require 20.
Lovely guide. Surely this is in.
10.
But the one place you can't miss is to the left.
Nick, you require 9.
You can miss slightly to the right with those guides, but he pulled the dart ever so slightly.
And
that's why he lost the leg.
Nick
He did have his chances. Unfortunately, Arron is now 3-0 down, and the stats tell us, I'll give you one in a second, that this is not good for Arron Monk.
4 leg, it's Nick to throw first. Game on.
Because in 129 games that he has played here, he has been 2-0 down 31 times
100.
and has only won once. That cannot be a coincidence. Because from
60.
a mental standpoint, obviously when he goes 2-0 down, it has an effect on him. Some of the stats that I read out
140.
are just interesting. And you think, oh, okay. That makes sense. But some paint a very interesting psychological
85.
picture, which that one does. And here's the thing I can't grasp.
140.
Arron is second in the table, and he's losing his temper. All is not
58.
lost. Even if he has a bad game, he's still very much in contention.
$90.
But with a 4-0 loss here to Nick Kenny, which is looking pretty likely,
140.
roles are going to reverse. Monk is going to fall to -2 in leg difference Nick Kenny is going to go
Game shot on the match.
to
Nick
-1.
Kenny.
So he does jump above Arron Monk. This is a big result. 93.94 is a very good performance. That's even 16 darters for Nick Kenny, and that will give him a lot of heart going into the second half of our action. We'll take a break now, and when we come back, it will be Jamie Kelling against Robert Owen, and that will start off our action in half number 2. This is the final furlong of Group B. Hello and welcome back to our Online Darts Live League matches for this evening. We're going to get another look at the tabletop of Robert Owen now as he's up against Jamie Kelling, who is at the point of no return. You can see that he has 2 points and he can get to 6. But he needs a minor miracle if he is to get into the top 3. I fancy he's going to have to win by 4-0 a couple of times and need the chasing pack to have a bit of a nightmare in the second half of play. So maybe Jamie can just take his foot off the pedal a little bit and see what comes to him. Miracles tend to happen when you don't think about them.
Right, first like it's Jamie to throw first. Game on.
Jamie's played some great stuff the last couple of nights. It's really good to see.
125.
A new father over the last few months and been recovering from
140.
Shoulder soreness over the last few months as well. He came back from injury earlier this year. And when he came to the Live League earlier in 2022, he said to me yesterday he came back just a little too soon. And he's obviously recovered really well over the last few months.
140.
Because his level has definitely gone up over the last couple of nights. I think by the end of the year, he could well be
95.
ready for another Q School stint.
Jamie, 141. $93. Robbie,
That'll do.
121.
Robert Owen on a 1-2-1. Might just take it.
Game shot the
it's a beautiful
first.
check out. In
Robert
12
Owen.
darts from Stack Attack. And that's the kind of thing that's been levelled at Jamie Kelling the last couple of nights.
Second, it's Robert
He
to
has
throw
been the
first.
sacrificial lamb to
Game
everybody's
on.
brilliance. The only win he got was against Arron Monk yesterday, and he had to throw some heroics against him just to get the points.
180.
Make no bones about it, Robert Owen wants to win this group by a margin. He wants to send a
68.
message to everybody in the finals tomorrow. And that is a message to Adam Atkinson, to Colin Osborne, and to Dave Pallett.
95.
And Dave Pallett is in the building tonight. He has been, at least, in the early part of the
60.
session, just to survey who's in form. Quite a smart piece of play, that, from the Group A winner.
59. $100. Robbie, we're going 167.
And you do fancy if this goes and Kelling is 2-0 down, his days and his hours and his minutes
86.
are numbered. This could be one of those performances that Rob puts
100.
in now and again where his average
Robbie, we're going
climbs
81.
as high as Tom Cruise in Mission Impossible 2.
$41.
We'll keep an eye on his personal best to see what he can do. But it is a personal best that would take some beating at 115.62.
97. Robbie, you require 40.
Double top to double the lead.
Game shot on the second leg.
Too good.
Robert Owen.
A bullseye and a double top. Both hit with 2 darts in total. And you don't need me to tell you that's 2-0 to Rob Owen.
So look, it's Jamie to throw first. Game on.
Now, one of the things that Rob has not done
58.
here at the Live League is hit a 9-darter. As you can see, he has a 107 average after 2 legs. That's 28 darts for those 2 legs.
60.
But 2 players have got 2 9-darters. Martin Adams and James Richardson. The first one came from
100.
Richie Burnett back in Phase 4 of 2021. Actually, it was James Richardson who got the first one against his own son. I forgot about that one. We saw one recently from Graham Usher against Dan Reed. And we have had another
80.
one this year from Conor Heenan against Thibaut Tricol. The only participant this week who has a 9-darter is Colin Osborne.
57.
He got his against our good friend John O'Shea, who has been in touch with me tonight, saying he is having a practice at home whilst watching Live League Darts. So if you are still watching, John,
140.
a very good evening to you, and all the best to you at the Pro Tour events in Barnsley next week.
60. $65.
In Live League history, since we've been in this studio, there have been 57 170 checkouts.
59.
57?
Well, you were 150.
I fear to think how many 1-2-1 checkouts we've had. We've had one in this game.
$59. Jamie, you were 167.
167 is harder than a 170. Because you can't nestle the next start next to the first one.
97.
It has to be 3 clean shots.
Robbie, you were going 97.
He's going to go for the double bed, and he finds it. What a shot.
Game
What a
shot in
dart.
the third leg.
Followed by
Robert
another
Owen.
one. 3-0. Jamie Kelling is now going to be eliminated from getting into the top 3. But Robert Owen is on a mission.
Robert to throw first. Game on. $140.
And that mission is destruction of his opponents. His last opponent tonight is Arron Monk.
140.
And he could be the person to deliver the knockout blow to Monk. If he doesn't get his act together against Jelle Klaasen in the next game, it could be Monk who goes out the door with
137.
Kelling. 2 people eliminated tonight and 3 will walk into Saturday night.
60.
Robert Owen's personal best average of 115.62 is coincidentally a personal best he shares with another Welshman in Mike Warburton. And it is the 4th best here at the Live League in this studio.
Robert, you were 124.
Behind Kevin Burness, Dan Reed, Chaz Barstow, and Jason Askew, who holds the record. Now, did he really
64.
go for the window of opportunity there on a 1-2-4? Either the treble 14 or the treble 11.
140.
Well,
160.
that was a bit different. That's his first miss at a double in the whole match.
Game
it's not
shot
for very
on the
long.
match.
And now
Robert
Jamie Kelling
Owen.
is officially eliminated from Group B. And at the hands of the person who barely loses. In fact, he's only lost one match. 98.56, 80% on the doubles. And that 1-2-1 finish was glorious to start things off. We'll take another short break. And when we come back, Arron Monk will hopefully have calmed down a bit after that 4-0 drubbing by Nick Kenny. And he's up against Clarson. This is a definitive 4-pointer in this table. Hello folks and welcome back to this evening's darts here at the Online Darts Live League. Things are getting very interesting and this game is going to tell us maybe a little bit of the story as to who could progress alongside Robert Owen in this table. At the top on his own and now qualified for the finals. Robert has won Group B. He will not be caught by anybody. But it's all about the middle three, isn't it? They've all played the same amount of games. 6 in total. They have 2 left. And whoever takes the number 2 and the number 3 position
Arron to throw first.
Will join
Game
Owen.
on.
And we have 2 players in this match in that zone. And Nick Kenny will play his penultimate match after this. So he will know who he's got to chase.
57.
Klaasen's last match is against Nick Kenny.
134.
Which is fascinating. Arron's is against Robert Owen, who is eyeing up 14 points from a possible 16. 4 matches left. And there are a lot of possibilities.
45.
But the one thing we do know about this game, and Arron's last one, is that he must keep it together.
134. $99. Yelle 170.
Is not going to be hit.
58. Arron 138.
Some good finishes this week. And some trials on double 8. That's a bit of an understatement after his game with Robert Owen earlier where he won by 4 legs to 3. The first person, in fact, in this group to beat Robert Owen.
118. Yelle 112.
Double top.
Game
Fine
shot first leg.
To take the first
Jelle
leg
Klaasen.
against the darts. A beautiful 3-dart checkout. And so far tonight, an undefeated Clarson is looking very good.
Second against Jelle to throw first.
4-1 against Kelling in game 1. 4-3 against Owen.
140.
And he's playing like a person with an attitude of, I'm not going anywhere.
95.
But because he came into tonight's action with just 2 points, he's had to do more than anybody else.
100.
He was probably saying to himself that I'm going to need to win all 4 games tonight before starting. He's got half that job done.
85. $91.
I was having a little chat with our referee a little bit earlier this week about Jelle Klaasen's counting. And he said to me,
140.
of anybody who has walked through these doors, he leaves 170 more than any player. And just to prove that point,
56.
he's left it twice in the first 2 legs. So, I think, in this case, Owen Binks has got it spot on.
40. Yelle require 114.
Had a 112 in leg 1. How about a 114?
74. Arron, you require
141 is an anagram of 114. Much more difficult.
57. Yelle require 40.
That's a wide.
Game shot on the second leg.
That's a bit
Jelle
further
Klaasen.
over, but it is in the bed. And Clarson is striding to the back of the room with a 2-0 lead in this one at the halfway point already.
Third leg, it's Arron to throw first.
some of my friends from around the world have been in touch in some of the commercial breaks, and one of them said,
84.
"Why don't you tell the audience your personal best average?" And my reply was, "I haven't played here yet. But when I did play
96.
in the live league when we were doing it from our own homes in 2020 in lockdown, I remember I did have 106 plus against Scott Mitchell. It was
85.
a pretty good game. I don't remember getting anything bigger than that. But we weren't keeping as much in the way of statistics as we are now. We record every single game that we do now. And we hold statistics for loads of different things. Now, there are two things happening in this game. Clarson is doing a job.
84.
Arron is losing his cool a little bit again. And if you're in Clarson's shoes, you just have to do your job again, just like Nick Kenny did
126.
in Game 5. Just plod on, do your thing, keep scoring, keep getting chances and take them.
60. Jelle 142. 53.
You feel a ton at least is needed here. But if Monk is to lose by a
60.
big margin for the second game in succession,
89.
his chances are dwindling fast. 555.
84.
That was an aggressive try.
Arron 128.
And this is one of the finishes in this zone which is harder than most.
$81. Jelle require 5.
Double 2.
1.
Can't find it.
Arron require 47.
And if Monk can find this, it'll be his first double in a while. But it's a really good shot to get his first leg in a while since he got his first win of the night against Jamie Kelling. And maybe that will calm him down just a little bit.
Hopefully it's Jelle to throw first. $40.
One of the things about this level of darts, and we were talking about this with the Sporty Stuff TV studio earlier, the caliber of players that we have here is of a very high level.
140.
We're talking about a former world youth champion here with Arron and a former world champion at Lakeside back from 2006 in Jelle Klaasen. These are elite guys.
100.
They've done amazing things. Klaasen's won another 3 PDC titles on top of that Lakeside Championship and the Dutch Open this year.
43.
Arron's had some great runs in tournaments in the last 10 years.
61.
But to a lot of people, he is an infuriating talent that has not found his potential yet.
140.
But it is a mark, isn't it, of how good the guys are at the top when these guys don't even have tour cards in the PDC.
140.
On the flip side of that, we're glad they're here. We're glad we can select them to come here.
44.
It's all for your darting enjoyment as we touch the midnight hour. The midnight hour with a 160.
Game shot on the 4 flag.
That's how you do it.
Jelle Klaasen.
And as the seconds tick by and we go towards that midnight hour, what a way to finish off Friday.
Fifth leg is Arron to throw first. 60.
He has been finishing predominantly a lot better this evening, with the exception of that final
59.
couple of legs against Rob Owen earlier. I had to get that in again. His biggest finish of the week before he came into this group was 130. So he's beaten his weekly best by 30 points right there.
95.
In his first game of the night, his best finish was 79 against Owen.
140.
His best was 97. So that 160 is his first ton plus checkout.
54.
Well, obviously since the 112 from earlier. But isn't it funny how they come in clusters or groups? Doesn't get one for a couple of days and then two in a game.
84.
Amazing. I think Arron may be struggling with the
36.
conditions in the room because it is fairly hot tonight. But it is the same for all players.
46.
The bigger the gap, the better it is for Clarson. Both on 6 points, remember. Clarson's leg difference is +1. Monk's is -2. Clarson wins. He goes further away from where Monk is. It's double top.
Game shot on the 5th leg.
There we have it. In a nutshell, right there. Infuriating brilliance.
And the
game is not over yet.
$134.
If Arron does lose this match, he's going to need a big favour from his close pal Jamie Kelling to try and beat Nick Kenny next.
60.
To Clarson's credit, he's just got on with his job in this game. He's looked really focused, averaging 90.
81.
You don't need to be a supreme poker player to read Arron Monk. He wears
84.
not just that England badge on his chest, but he wears his heart on his sleeve.
81.
And during his career, I don't think Jelle has particularly liked the hot conditions. In fact, when he was having a lot of success on the European Tour, he decided not to wear his DARTS shirt on the European Tour because he felt more comfortable in a usual PK polo shirt.
Yeah, you require 84.
This one obviously feels a bit more comfortable because he's won the match.
Shot on the match.
In 14 darts, and Jelle did play well there. 4 legs to 2, 91.24, and he is on for the undefeated night. He has 1 game left. That is the last game against Nick Kenny a little bit later on. Is that going to have a bearing on who qualifies? I've got a funny feeling it might, you know. But before we get there, it's going to be Jamie Kelling playing Nick Kenny in our next match after this short break. This is going to be the penultimate game for Nick Kenny, but it will be the final match that you will see Jamie Kelling this week. He has won 1 game from 7. He'll be hoping to go out with a bang to give his friend Arron Monk a bit of help in the table. Clarson has done himself a lot of favours tonight. He may have company on 8 points after this, but only if Kenny beats Kelling for the 2nd night in succession.
Okay, first like it's Nick to throw first. Game on.
Remember the days when we used to have a handshake before a game of darts and nobody got confused about it? Welcome to the era of we don't know whether to fist pump or handshake anymore.
125.
Thanks, COVID.
$135.
Just want to pay tribute to Jamie Kelling because over the last couple of nights he has gone about his business in a very classy way. It's great to see him playing well again.
60.
I know he's at the bottom of the table and he's not going to qualify, but the improvement from the last time he was here is evident.
134.
And whatever he does over the next 2 to 3 months, we wish him the best. And we hope to see him again before the end of the year.
100. $59.
What Nick is looking for is a strong performance, not just on the leg count,
180.
but in the points department. And that's exactly what you need.
133.
From 216. A maximum to leave double 18.
Game shot on the first leg.
It doesn't
Nick
get
Kenny.
much better than that. That's a world-class leg from Nick Kenny. You leave 216 after 9, you're thinking, I can get a 13 darter. And he did.
Second leg, it's Jamie to throw first.
Just think, Kelling hit a
85.
1-3-3 to leave tops and didn't even get a look. That's the kind of 2 days he's had. Always seems to have been 1 dart behind.
$83. $96. $60.
Jamie Kelling was on 3-3-3 there, and that number always reminds me of a very famous cricket innings. Graham Gooch, back in 1990,
140.
against India. I'm pretty sure that
59.
still is the biggest innings for an Englishman. Even 32 years later, I don't think anybody's beaten that. I'll have to do some checking.
140.
No checking for Kenny. And in poker terms, he's raising the stakes, not checking.
85. I think you're going 77.
18 for tops. For another really stellar leg.
Game shot on the second
When he's
leg.
in this mood,
Nick Kenny.
he is just so good to watch. And we may be on the cusp of a 4th 4-0
So like it's
here
Nick
tonight
to throw first.
because
Game
he's
on.
in that kind of mood. And just to illustrate, not just how good Kenny's been the first 2 legs here, but how unfortunate Jamie Kelling has been.
55.
He's averaged 92.5 in this game so far. And for the night, he's been 90.5 and 43% on doubles. In most other groups,
140.
that is promotion style form. But this group has been magnificent.
93.
A world-class level. that unfortunately even the very good Jamie Kelling has not been able to live up to.
100. 135.
Just when Jamie thought, oh, I could break the throw here, Kenny comes back with 2 treble 20s.
140.
But Kelling finds 2 of his own. And he now is over 101.
85.
I've just had a text message from one of my backroom staff about that Graham Gooch innings. Let's look at the bullseye.
96.
Apparently that Gooch innings of 333 is the 3rd highest. The other 2 that beat it were in the 1930s.
93. Jamie records
Oh, well, at least I
25.
got Gooch's innings right at 333. Got to be a single 3.
21.
That could be very close to curtains. 40. Because Kenny has not missed a double yet.
$20. Jamie
That
records
changes
4.
things somewhat. He can go above that. Can he go above both?
No score. Nick, you require 20.
Second chance. He's going to go 2 for double 4. His choice.
12.
Robs himself of a shot at double, in my opinion, in that spot. This lie's even worse than the previous one. Which makes that hit even more impressive. A little puff of the cheeks there from Jamie Kelling as if to say, yeah, that was a pretty good shot. I agree, Jamie.
Fourth leg, it's Jamie to throw first. Game on. $100.
Jamie is nicknamed the Yellow Submarine. Unfortunately, that submarine is sinking this evening, or indeed this morning.
96.
I keep forgetting that we're into Saturday morning already. Happy weekend, everyone.
40.
Kenny cannot slow down. He must maintain pressure
85.
on Clarson and Monk, because neither of those guys are safe.
140.
But one thing we can say is that Monk will be out after being second in the table overnight
45.
if he loses his next game and Nick Kenny wins this one. The Klaasen-Kenny match
60.
in match 10 could just be for position as to whether they get second or third. And the difference in position from second to third
60.
will stipulate which group you're in on Saturday night. So there is something on that. But it still depends on whether Nick Kenny wins this game.
45.
Arron Monk is still hoping that his pal can do him a favour to keep him in it. But Monk's got to do himself a favour. But there is another scenario that I haven't mentioned yet, which would be appropriate if it goes 2-2.
98. Nick, you require 170.
Just seems to have slowed down a fair bit over the last couple of legs. Has Nick? Double 4.
Game on
That's
the fourth
there.
leg.
things
Jamie
have
Kelling.
changed. And the only positive left in this game so far for Nick Kenny is that he still retains the throw.
Fifth leg, it's Nick to throw first.
Everything seemed to be fine after 2-0. But you can see how the averages have plummeted by about 20 each. Right, that additional
60.
scenario that is in play is if Arron Monk was to lose
100.
to Robert Owen, he would be out because he has the worst leg difference. It may come down to leg difference.
100.
But simply put, if Arron Monk loses in a somewhat heavy manner to Robert, he will be out. But if Nick loses this game
140.
and he loses to Jelle Klaasen, it might come down to legs. It might come down to
100.
margins. It may just be a one-game shootout for Monk. If he wins it, it might just be enough. If Nick Kenny does not get any more points tonight.
140.
That's the dart he's been searching for.
180.
And that's what happens when he finds it.
121. $57.
Can he finish the job in leg 5? That's okay. Double 16.
29. Jamie requires 64.
Another single. Leaves the double.
Game
And he
on
hits
the
the
fifth
front.
leg. Jamie
Making
Kelling.
things really interesting now. Jamie Kelling does not want to leave the Live League without another victory. He got one yesterday.
Six
He
leg,
has
it's
not
Jamie
had
to
one
throw
tonight yet.
first. Game
But
on.
this is his best chance.
$60.
If Nick does lose this match from 2-0 up,
57.
he's got every right to feel like a bit of squashed roadkill.
125.
Very aggrieved indeed.
Because
he's the one who's had the maximums.
180.
He's had 3. Kelling's had none. But how many times have we said
96.
180s for sure, doubles for door?
$140.
When he gets it right, he gets it very right. When he gets it wrong,
140.
like most other players, it looks pretty ordinary. But this may have to be plugged on the bull
99.
because Kelling has got a match point.
Jamie require 80.
It's going to have to be 25 and bull. And that brings a smile to most dart players'
62.
faces. Because you're going for the 25, and if you jag the bull, you've got no shot.
Game shot.
And he doesn't have another shot in leg 6.
Nick Kenny.
We are going all the way in this one. We've had quite a few one-sided affairs tonight, but this one, it's going to be a one-leg shootout for 2 very valuable points.
7th and final leg. It's Nick to throw first. Game on.
This is the biggest leg of Nick Kenny's group.
100.
If you're standing still on the table,
140.
you're going backwards. No, that's a bit of an oxymoron, but it's totally true.
100. 100.
If he wins this leg with the darts, he will be 2 points ahead of Monk and 4 legs ahead of him as well in those leg difference columns.
100.
Monk may need to beat Robert Owen by a massive margin.
100. 91.
That's a good leave. We have seen a match won on a 170 this week. That was Adam Atkinson's debut match.
60.
And that was yesterday. In fact, that was on Thursday because I keep forgetting it's Saturday morning. This one's on. It's still on.
123.
That would have been some way to sign off.
Nick, you require 141.
You can see how much Jamie wanted to hit it for himself and nobody else.
89. Jamie required 47.
Now he's got one more job to do. To rob Nick Kenny of 2 points. To get 2 for himself.
7.
And now Nick can steal them back.
Nick, you require 52.
Look at the urgency on his face. He wants them badly. Double 16.
20.
We just don't know how costly those
Jamie
misses will
require
be.
40. Game
Very
shot on the
costly
match.
indeed.
Jamie
Towards
Kelly.
the end of our schedule, things are going to get very interesting. We've only got 2 games left to go, but that very tight match, as you can see, pretty much all of the statistics were very, very even, apart from the 180s, which Nick Kenny owned by 3 180s to 0. But things are really interesting as 6 points sees Monk on that mark and Nick Kenny. The next game will see the end of the campaign for Robert Owen. What can he do against Arron Monk? Because Monk needs points, and then Kenny plays Clarson after that. Don't go anywhere. The climax of Group B is coming up. Welcome to the penultimate match of this morning's action in Group B, and we know what it is for Arron Monk coming up, and he has to get at least 2 legs in this contest to keep his challenge alive, but he'll be wanting to get more than that. You can see from the leg difference in the column noted diff with -4 next to his name. If that goes a little bit further south, then he will need a massive victory for Clarson against Kenny in the last game. But if he doesn't get 2 legs and Stack Attack beats him by 4 legs to 1 or 4 legs to 0, Arron is going home and not coming back.
Robert to throw first. Game on.
But to reiterate what Robert Owen's all about, he's been qualified through this group for a while.
81.
In fact, by beating Nick Kenny in his first game tonight, he ensured that he was going to win this group
140.
with 3 matches to go. That's how good he's been. But he wants to finish on 14 points from a possible 16.
100.
It's quite simple now because of that defeat for Nick Kenny against Jamie Kelling. If Monk wins and Kenny loses,
140.
Monk goes through. But based on the result, or the results of these 2 games,
58.
Clarson isn't safe yet. He still needs a leg or 2 to make sure he's okay.
140.
Classic start from Owen, showing his strength.
42.
On a double after 12.
40.
He's been here many times this week already.
Game shown the first.
And he just doesn't mess around.
Robert Owen.
I've never known Robert Owen seem so confident in his ability than this week.
Second leg is Arron to throw first.
He was actually quite philosophical about 2023 when I was talking to him earlier. He said, I'd like to get a tour card because I think I can make a living on the Pro Tour. But he said he loves playing here so much and playing Challenge Tour and things like that, that he said, if I got to do this for another year, I'm more than happy with that. But he has ambition.
140.
And if you are going to go places in this game, you have to use the Live League as a stepping stone to greater things, like Richie Bennett, like
40.
Scott Williams potentially, like Richie Edhouse and Dave Evans from year 1, like Connor Scott, who Arron was supposed to play England with, but when Connor got himself a tour card, he was no longer able to play.
140. 139.
We have tops after 12 this time for Monk.
$135. Arron, you require 40.
Can't be messing around on this.
Game shown the second leg.
Might not be in the middle,
Arron Monk.
but he'll take it. And he goes straight back to the hockey thinking, you know what? It's in. I'm trying not to overthink this one, I think.
So look, it's Robert to throw first. Game on.
We have spent years trying to figure out what goes on in between the ears of Arron Monk. None of us have come up with any answers.
60.
Some players, when they've adorned this shirt, may have put it in a frame.
22.
Hung it in a special wardrobe with some other memorabilia. But no. Arron wants to wear it.
180.
Maybe it will inspire him to try and get through this game, but based on the stats so far,
135.
he's going to need to be at his best.
$55.
Chance. Just one word. That's what I'd be saying to myself if I were in his shoes.
58.
When you see someone like Owen have a troublous visit, you say, chance. He wasn't really able to take it.
71.
He is playing much improved stuff in this game because he knows he has to. How does he hit this bull? He may have to hit this from the next room. Oh, look at the angle it went in. That was the epitome
86.
of an almost impossible shot. But the bullseye is open for Arron.
Game shot on the third leg.
Extraordinary
Arron
effort.
Monk.
And he likes that one. He wasn't happy with some of his darts earlier, but this shot, pinpoint.
Fourth leg, it's Arron to throw first. Game on.
He's got the minimum 2 legs he needed.
55.
So we are going to go to the last game. That is now guaranteed.
$60.
Jamie Kelling has finished on 4 points and a leg difference of -16. He will have the weekend off
83.
and reassess for the future.
$60.
So far, so good for Monk in leg 4. That flight on the first dart
9.
needs changing. I don't think he's noticed it. But it does need to be changed. One of the wings on the
100.
flights has obviously curved for some reason. And it won't fly true. That one's okay.
55.
I can't tell which one it is, but one of them is definitely needing to be replaced. That's the kind of thing I was so anal about in my career. When something
135.
went wrong with the equipment, you would change it immediately. Now, he must start 19s. And everybody knows how much that annoys me. Because he can't leave a finish.
99. Robert, you record 146.
I've seen that about 5 times this week, and it drives me crazy. You should know at this level that 299 is a 19 start.
94.
That's the flight that's wrong. There's something wrong with it. It's either
44. Robert, you require 52.
it's either lost some of its wing or it's curved. Doesn't matter now.
Fourth leg. Robert Owen.
It may matter later in the match because we are tied at 2-2, and the next possibly 3 legs could stipulate what happens to Arron Monk over the next 24 hours.
Fifth leg, it's Robert to throw first. Game on.
Classic Robert Owen, really.
100.
He's been at this level pretty much all of Group B. Tonight, 87 in a win over Nick Kenny. 89 in a 4-3 defeat to Jelle Klaasen, but back on the horse with a 98 average beating Jamie Kelling. And he averaged 97 yesterday.
100.
One of the best Group B campaigns that I can remember, especially this year.
140. 121.
He's got that stacking method down pat. Monk needs to leave 1-2-1 for me.
140.
And he does very well to do just that. He took out 86 to lead this match by 2 legs to 1.
100. Arron, you reckon 121.
He might need the bullseye again. He was greedy.
93.
And almost paid off.
Robert, you require 80.
Bit of a basketball motion there from Monk. But it could be Owen that makes him snooze Steph Curry style on tops.
60. Arron, you require 28.
Doesn't get the back of the net.
Game shown the 5th
Beautiful
leg.
dart from Monk.
Arron Monk.
And he's 1 leg away from getting a much valued victory. If he wins, he will be a spectator for the last match to see if he's done enough.
6 leg, it's Arron to throw first.
It's feasible that we
100.
could have 3 players on 8 points. And that leg difference is going to come into play.
57.
Just how damaging will that 4-0 loss to Nick Kenny in match 5 be, where he lost his temper and he really did derail himself?
121.
But one thing is now certain. Jelle Klaasen, for the first time in playing in the Online Darts Live League, has qualified for Saturday night. He's done enough already. With 1 match to go.
95.
It is now between Monk and Kenny. I would switch here. I wouldn't go for the 180.
180.
Don't listen to me, Rob. Don't listen to me.
$30.
He wanted a lot more than that. This is why.
95. Arron, you reckon 155.
I thought he was going to get a 133 to leave 86. That's a great last start.
Robert, you
I
reckon
wonder how valuable that will be.
124. $56.
Over to you, Arron.
Arron, you reckon 72.
This is to finish on 8 points and a leg difference of -2. Double 12.
Game
He
shot
wins
on
the match by 4 legs to 2. And that's only the 2nd defeat in this group for Rob Owen. He doesn't care about it now because it's all gone and he has topped the table. He put in a 96 average performance, but fair play to Arron Monk. He gathered his composure over the last couple of games and he's put himself in with a chance with an 89 average and 57% on the doubles. We have 1 match to go. We're going to get our calculators out, do all of the sums, and when we come back, we'll tell you what the permutations are for Nick Kenny and for Arron Monk. Hello and welcome back to the last match of this morning's session. Group B will conclude after this best of 7 leg match. Jelle Klaasen versus Nick Kenny. Nick knows exactly what he needs to do now. It's a win and in situation. It's that simple. Win the match, you're coming back tomorrow. Lose, you're gone. But as far as Jelle Klaasen is concerned, he needs 2 legs in this contest to guarantee second spot, which will keep him out of Rob Owen's group tomorrow.
77.
He won't be thinking about that. He'll just be happy that he's making his debut on a Saturday night at the Live League finals.
135.
I just hope that this is something like what we got from them on
96.
Thursday night, because it was a 7-leg belter.
$84.
That was when Nick came out of the traps and gave us a plethora of 180s.
40.
A 102 average and a decent doubling performance as well. And Clarson held on as hard as he could, but lost ultimately by 4 legs to 3. Since then, Clarson has set himself a new personal best in a Live League match of 98 point... In fact, it was 97.66, I do beg your pardon.
100.
But it's miraculous to me that he still hasn't had a ton plus average. Maybe he's saving it for today.
153.
And by today, I mean Saturday. Double 16.
Game shot on the first leg.
This game's at it
Nick
again.
Kenny.
We saw a great approach shot there from Clarson, but ultimately the 92 checkout from Kenny was brilliant.
Second leg, it's Nick to throw first. Game on.
If you're wondering whether these players know their fate, they will ask. There is a short walk between the practice room and the playing arena. They have to walk past the tournament director and are ushered there by security.
140.
I am pretty certain that Kenny and Clarson will have asked the question, am I safe or what do I need to do?
135. But
maybe the biggest motivating factor so far is that Clarson is looking for his first perfect
100.
day. A win in this game would eliminate Nick Kenny. It would give Arron Monk
96.
a Saturday night berth. But to Jelle, it's all about getting 8 points from 8.
105. Jelle requires 85.
Double top.
45. Nick requires
He might
76.
pay a price for those misses. Double 8. Jelle's nemesis.
Game shot on the second leg.
And it is his
Nick
nemesis
Kenny.
again because his opponent has hit it first time.
Third leg, it's Jelle to throw first.
I think if I was Arron Monk right now, I'd probably just leave
97.
and wait for a phone call. Whenever the result comes in, just check social media.
95.
I probably wouldn't want to watch the game if I was Arron Monk,
93.
but I am reliably informed that he's watching in the practice room.
$56.
Kenny's on that magic number 350.
140.
We've only seen one 350 in 6 darts in Live League history. It was Andy Jenkins against Fallon Sherrick at the start of last year.
95.
I'm still yearning for another one.
85.
It's the equivalent of getting an albatross in golf, because albatrosses are rarer than holes in one.
57. Yellow require 86.
Double 4.
78.
That's now 3 darts missed at double in this match. And Kenny's only had 2 darts, but hit them both.
41. Yellow require 8. Game shot on the
That
third
one's good.
leg. Jelle Klaasen.
This game hasn't really changed much because that's just a hold of throw. If Kenny does the same right here, he will take it to 3-1 up.
Fourth leg, it's Nick to throw first.
This is game 95 of the week. A long campaign here at the Live League this week on the back of
55.
what was one of the best world match players we've ever seen at Blackpool. But throughout 2022, we have
43.
taken weekly breaks after our old format Champions Weeks. We are taking no weeks off between now and the middle of October when
59.
the Champions Week will be. And a reminder to all of our fans, ahead of tomorrow night, or tonight, because it
85.
still feels like Friday, one person on Saturday night will qualify for the Champions Week. Just one.
100.
Not 3 anymore.
180.
That's Klaassen's second max.
60.
Is he getting back into this one? He's denied Kenny a shot at double since he
80.
won leg 2. That's how you win matches. You stop your opponent getting to the double. That's how you win matches. You don't give them a match dart.
100.
It's one of my favourite sayings.
113.
Just close them out. Close them out.
Game shot on the
And
fourth leg.
closes him out, he
Jelle
does.
Klaasen.
For 2-2. The little green arrow goes next to JK's name, and he now has the darts back.
Fifth leg, it's Jelle to throw first. Game on.
Big effort from our referee this week, Owen.
99.
He's refereeing his 95th game, and he is a big Colchester United fan. Their season starts tomorrow. He's going to go and watch them
98.
in Northampton, and he's going to return to referee the Saturday night as
58.
well. That's commitment.
$97.
Such a fascinating game, and you just fancy this one's going to go
56.
down to a one-leg shootout. There can't be much in the way of fingernails left on Arron Monk's hands.
139.
And that is tremendous counting from Nick Kenny. Oh, that's an awful 5. A very unfortunate 5. You can see that Klaasen has left a bogey number. That's not his fault. He just got a wicked deflection.
59. $97. 108.
Such an important exchange right here. 57. Would have left 32.
92.
Can Clarson take 52 more? Oh, why did he go for the treble 12? Why does he do that? Why would he go for treble 12 to leave double
50.
8?
Nick, you require
When in fact he's had more trouble on that double than any other this week.
Game shot on the
And
fifth.
yet
leg.
again,
Nick
Nick Kenny
Kenny.
puts the sword in on the double that Jelle has got every right to hit.
Sixth leg, it's Nick to throw first.
Just before we talk about how close Nick Kenny is to qualifying. We can now confirm that Clarson will be in Group 1 tomorrow, or later tonight, depending on how you look at it. He's got the 2 legs he needs.
139.
His group is going to be Dave Pallett and Adam Atkinson. Oh, that looks good. That looks really good. And the other group will be Robert Owen, Colin Osborne, and Nick Kenny, Arron Monk. What a Saturday night that is. That's got me salivating already. One more leg for Kenny.
135.
To dispose of the man in the England shirt from this evening.
98.
But Klaasen does not want to leave with a defeat for Saturday morning.
125.
He got his first victory yesterday in game number 10. He has won 4 games straight.
84. Nick, you require 116.
But this is gettable. 60 now. Doesn't get the bounce he wanted.
42. Jelle, you require 123.
54 bull, the only route left. And Nick Kenny's got an easier shot this time.
43.
He has not missed
Nick,
a dart
74.
at a double this whole match. And considering the pressure, that's an amazing achievement. But he's got one more double to hit.
54.
That miss
Jelle requires
could
70.
be really costly. But only if Klaasen takes double top himself.
Game on the 6th flag.
And he does.
Jelle Klaasen.
It is a one-leg shootout between these two to see if Kenny qualifies or Monk qualifies from the practice
final
room.
leg, it's Jelle to throw first. Game on.
I don't know whether you caught Kenny in the background there. He couldn't watch.
59.
He was hoping that the referee was going to say something like 30 scored. He didn't want to hear
60.
game shot.
$56.
The tension in this building is palpable. I am somewhat cut off
40.
from this arena, from the practice room and the backstage area. But something is swimming through this building right now.
180.
And that's the third maximum of this match. That's massively good news for Arron Monk.
100.
And Kenny's been really unfortunate in this leg. He's had a dart on the floor. That ton looked so much better than a ton. And Klaasen's gone bananas over the last 6 darts. And he's left 32 after 12. And Nick Kenny is staring at the door.
45. Jelle requires 32.
To be undefeated tonight, he needs to find double 16 almost from my lap.
No score.
How many problems has he had in that corner? If he is to win on
60.
Saturday night, he's got to fix this double 16 and double 8 action.
Game
And on
shot
his
on
5th
the
match
match.
start, he
Jelle
wins
Klaasen.
against Nick Kenny. And he does make sure that Arron Monk has qualified by the tiniest of margins, by one solitary leg. It was a good performance from Klaasen, 92.16. But the table tells the story. Monk, Klaasen and Owen progress. Nick Kenny was very unlucky. He had some great darts last night and some brilliant stuff this evening, but ultimately he fell one leg short. Unlucky, Nick. I hope we will see you again sometime soon. And all the best to Jamie Kelling as well for the rest of his 2022. Enjoy the rest of your evening if you are staying up a little bit later, but if you're going to bed now, sweet dreams. I'm going to take a bit of a rest. We will come back at 10 p.m. on Sporty Stuff TV on Saturday night for our weekly finals here in week 1 of Stage 1. Take care, everyone. Enjoy your Saturday and come with us on a journey on Saturday night to see who wins the first week of Stage 1. I'm the Asset. I'm signing up for now. Good night, all.